It's really finding your weird and like figuring out what makes you you and bringing that into the AI so that you can create more organic content.
I looked into what you got going on, and you have so many different programs, but obviously the overarching theme is it's very glamorous. Everything you do seems to be, including your microphone, is super glamorous. And
It's like glamorous mixed with hot mess. Like there's like this side, and then there's also definitely an underlying hot mess side of things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also a lot about performing, speaking on stage, doing lots of social media streaming, things like that.
Yeah. So our main focuses are really at the moment and have been for a while, it's social selling. So we help people to create content with organic social. And for 2.5 years, we've had an AI content club. So well before ChatGPT and all of that, we've had programs about AI. So that has been a focus, but underneath it, it's really finding your weird and like figuring out what makes you you and bringing that into the AI so that you can create more organic content. Our main like mantra is the more fun you have, the more money you make. And so that's a big part of it too.
Yeah, interesting. What was before ChatGPT? Like, besides Jasper, I wasn't really
Yeah. So,
taking much
so we
interest.
had Jasper was our main thing. And we had a program that we launched called, when it was Jarvis, we had a program called Dancing with Jarvis. And so the whole thing was about how when you get responses, you've got to kind of play with it. It's not just going to be like, you copy and paste whatever you get. So you've got to kind of dance with the bots.
Well, it's still like that.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. We changed the name because Jarvis got the cease and desist from Disney that was like, you can't call it Jarvis. And so then I was like, we shouldn't base the name of our program on one tool. So we changed it to the AI Content Club after that. And now we still suggest Jasper, but there's other tools that we're using and stuff now too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, if I was Jasper's creator, maybe I'll get him on the show. But if I was him, I'd be really upset because ChatGPT just comes in and really levels the playing field altogether, right?
It's been such a tricky thing to watch because we're one of the top affiliates with them. And so when ChatGPT first came out, I was like, do I even talk about it? I really went through this weird 3-week pout, which I regret because I wish I had just gone all in on it right away because we already had such a strong hold on it, and it's all good now. But I really was frozen kind of because on one hand, I was glad that so many people actually were listening to us now. But then on the other hand, I was like, but what happens with all of this affiliate income that we have from this one tool? So we still use it for templates and stuff, which I do. Even yesterday, I was creating a bunch of content. We have a repurposing agency as well. And so I was creating a bunch of content for a client. And I was like, yeah, there's a couple of templates in there that I still like better than anything else. But yeah.
Well, now with ChatGPT, the most recent version, you can set templates,
your brand voice,
commands that can be applied to pretty much
anything. I saw that, which is so cool. So yeah, the commands are awesome. And then also, we have full training programs on how to season your AI assistant. So I spoke at Perry's AI Bot Summit, the first one that he had, mainly about how to bring your voice into it and how to set that as a tone. And then
I did a similar talk at a Vancouver mastermind as well.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty much, it's really not that difficult to do. It's very simple, but a lot of people find it the whole hiccup a lot of people have is oh, my content sounds like AI. Well, just show it what you want it to sound like, tell it to make it sound like that, and voila, it just makes it sound like that.
And the real problem is that most people don't know who they are or what they want to sound like. So then you have to make sure that you actually take the time to figure out who you are and who you're speaking to. So I feel like the robots have figured out how to make us be more human, which is my favorite part.
Interesting. My take on this is a little bit different. You can basically take just some of your emails, some of your communication, social media, you can group it all together into a document, and you can have ChatGPT learn from it and model your
Claude. With Claude, it's even better because you can take I have the last 4 years of social media content, and I've loaded that into Claude in a spreadsheet, which I was shocked that it could read 4 tabs on a spreadsheet, and it pulled out super specific moments from the spreadsheet, which blew my mind. And then it'll give you a voice, but that's if you have social media content that you enjoy. If you're coming into this without having that already, then you don't have anything to pull from unless you pull somebody else's social media content, but then you're still not finding that thing that makes you unique. You're copying someone else.
Right. You know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can just use your own emails, your own communications, your own text messages. It can really do a great job with very minimal content. Like I was able to teach ChatGPT to sound like me with less than 300 words. It's very good at picking up the tone,
and the nuance,
the style, the vocabulary. Yep.
Yeah. Totally.
It's pretty neat. Yeah. I mean, obviously you can always take things to the next level. And I was actually considering at the same mastermind, Michael Sane was presenting, and he showed us an avatar he created of himself. So he can just feed any text to it. And I've been last few days, I've been really playing with that idea because I've been producing a lot of content this past week. And I was like, sometimes I wish I had a clone Igor who can just do stuff without me having to do it.
Totally. Or to brainstorm with or just to talk to or whatever.
Sure, yeah. Although I'm pretty sure I'd get in a fight with myself, and I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be any good. But yeah, I was definitely contemplating maybe getting a green screen set up and recording, because I think you have to do 4 minutes of nonstop, uninterrupted talking in front of it for it to learn. So that's going to be a bit tricky, but.
Have you used 11 Labs, the voice?
We've basically played with a few voice cloning tools. The one we use for me is Descript. We've fed it a lot of content. A lot, yeah. I think I fed more content into my Descript than my Alexa has. It's a lot.
Yeah, I think because that's the one that we Descript, people don't always recognize that it was also using AI before too. So that's one of the first AI tools a lot of people were using. So when I first realized that one could replace words, when it first came out, which was before a lot of the other tools, and change the date of something or, just overdub one word or whatever, that was super cool.
Descript is amazing. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about it, just as a really powerful tool for any content creator.
I know.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating. Another one we've been using for AI is, and our podcast listeners probably noticed, is we've been doing some celebrity voices.
Oh, so that's cool.
Every now and again, I'll have Ryan Gosling or Morgan Freeman or George Carlin or Snoop Dogg introducing an episode. My favorite was when we used Donald Trump to introduce an episode where I spoke about personal branding. And he was like, awesome. Yeah, I'm President Donald Trump, and Igor's going to talk about branding, but no one knows branding better than me. I'm the ultimate brand master. I was like, damn, this sounds exactly like he would do it.
So funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm considering what is it like now to be a celebrity in this time, because there's all these deep fakes, right, which were way before AI. And I'm not sure if we consider deepfake video as AI or not, but there's deepfakes, there's voice cloning. You can now create entire, Joe Rogan posted about this, or someone, when OpenAI did an episode between, Joe Rogan podcast episode between him and Sam, what's his name? Or Sam Altman or something.
Yeah, or Steve, wasn't there a Steve Jobs one also? They did one where it was a fake between Steve Jobs and somebody else.
Oh, I would love to hear a conversation with Steve Jobs and someone like Napoleon Hill or something.
Yeah, and it's something like that, Steve Jobs AI podcast.
So what do you think?
It's Joe Rogan and Steve Jobs. That's it. Yeah. I'll send it to you right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Rogan gets lots of good publicity. So I mean, but Joe also spoke about people using his voice to promote supplements and not being able to get to them.
I mean, it's a tricky thing, right? I think the biggest thing is that what can we trust as humans? It's more of us being aware of who we're able to actually trust. I think.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not even sure what's human anymore.
I know.
If I'm honest,
yesterday we were talking on a mastermind call that I run. We were talking about how there's deep fakes in terms of AI, but there's also deep fakes in terms of humans. There's human beings who are just fake. and what they're putting out there. You know what I mean? So even though
Yep.
they're human, it's still fake. So it's like, I don't know. It's a lot. I think really this is like more about getting back to in-person events and seeing things in real life, because that's the only way you can trust that it's like what it is. But
in a way, yes, I agree with that. In a way, this is where we're going to be, I guess, creating more value. I just did a physical get together with a few friends, like for some high level people locally in London.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised with the feedback we received just being in it, in a room, nothing fancy, for a day, talking. Like that's what we've done. One day in a room talking, then we went to the pub.
Yeah.
And the feedback we've got, like we've pulled off some incredible Las Vegas level performance or something. It's like people are hungry for in-person communication.
Yeah. We've started hosting pretend cruises.
Pretend cruises?
Yeah, so they're in my backyard, and when they
and you put up a little duck pool, or
it's like there's my husband found a cruise like steering wheel thing, so that's in the front of the house, so they can take pictures in front of the steering wheel if they want to, like we do when you get on a cruise. And then everybody gets a lei when they come in, and then I have a very like tropical backyard, so we do it's implementation, so it's content creation, building like your signature talk or building a micro course while we're here, so they get stuff done. And then there's lots of time for connection and hanging out, depending on whether it's a 1 day or 2 day cruise. We have a hot tub Q&A, and then we do it like champagne toast sail away in our front yard. There's an awesome view out here. So it's been really well received. Ryan Dice, I spoke at Digital Marketer a couple months ago, and he was like, this sounds like the most amazing event ever, and it sounds like something that I would absolutely hate. It's like, it sounds like torture to me, but it sounds like your people would love it. And I was like, they do. So it's been fun.